All right, welcome in. Here we go. WalterFootball.com, the NFL draft. That's Walt. I'm Eytan here from Odd Shopper. And you and I, my friend, have been talking about this one for a while, ever since really the regular season ended and we got deeper into the postseason, the Super Bowl. Now it's the draft. This is your time. This is Charlie's time to shine. There isn't a better place across the entire planet where you can find NFL draft information, knowledge, and most importantly, where and what to bet. What's up, Walt?
Not much except craziness here. It's almost 24 hours until the draft, so we're still getting information. So yeah, we're gonna have some good bets here on the show, but in addition to that, we're gonna have some later as well. That when some more info comes in. So yeah, I can't wait. We hit every single draft prop last year except for one. So yeah, hopefully we have another great year.
So, what's the process? We're going to get into some plays and kind of see where your lean is and what, Charlie has and all down there. But what's the process right now? Are you just in some command center and Charlie is just feeding you information via Telegram like every 5 minutes? How is this process working?
We actually had a show on YouTube last night, and Charlie gave a ton of great information. But no, usually, I mean, Charlie is speaking to so many people around the NFL. I feel like I'm almost bothering him. I feel bad if set them like, wait a second, he works at the company, so I can always like bug him and say like, hey, is there any new info? Do we have any new draft props to post? So he's always helpful. He somehow knows everyone in the NFL, and so that's how we're able to get such great information.
Yeah, man. Like just to toot, not your technically, but he's under your umbrella. To toot Charlie's horn here, real quick. You mentioned what you guys did last year in the draft, but this has been a year in and year out occurrence for you guys, right? Like Charlie is connected, and I don't even go. I don't even know anymore who is Mel Kiper still around? Like he could have retired, and I don't know because if it's not Charlie giving me information, I don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, well, Kuiper is the godfather of the draft, so you got to give him some respect. But yeah, Charlie has been the most accurate draft analyst over the past decade. We keep track of this, like all the positive and negative reports. And so Charlie's had the most reports correct. He's had the most mock draft picks correct over the past decade. So yeah, I mean, it really pays to have this inside info, and we're really thankful for Charlie. I mean, we had some crazy props last year. Like we had Jahmyr Gibbs going to the Lions at like 25-1 odds. We had Gibbs in the first round. We had Bijan Robinson going to the Falcons. We had Hendon Hooker going to the Lions. And then we hit like all the under on the receiver props that helped as well. So yeah, I'm excited for this year. We have some props already on the site, but like I said, we're going to have some more info over the next 24 hours as well.
All right. Well, let's do it, right? Because we have this up here, and this is now what I'd say 6 hours ago, right? You guys put this one out here. So let's look first and foremost what you guys have. And again, we'll be using WalterFootball.com as far as not only what Charlie Campbell has, what Walt has put up here, and using it as our main kind of Bible, if you will, our mainstay here. So right away, there should be no surprises, right? Caleb Williams, number one. That's pretty much all expected here. You don't even have any other possibilities for this, right? Like that's it.
The only way he's
not abducted by aliens.
Right. The only way he's not the pick is if he's abducted by aliens or kidnapped or falls down the stairs. Yeah, he's the pick.
All right, so the real draft begins now. Where are you with number two? Because I've seen May, I've seen some smoke and what happens, but it feels like Washington is truly on Jaden Daniels here.
Yeah, it's actually something I bet already. I bet Jaden Daniels to go number two overall. Now the VIG sucks. As of last night, it was minus 400. Now I'm using I was using some of the offshore sports books because I haven't driven to New Jersey yet, which I plan to do after the show. But
nice.
So I go every week for Rainmakers, but Jaden Daniels, I'm like very certain is going to be the pick. This is based on some information as well, so this is not just speculation. So if I'm betting minus 400 big, like I'm going to be very confident. So I maxed out the bet on 3 sports books already, which on the offshore sports books, they don't offer much. So I'm excited to go to New Jersey to bet on like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, etc.
Right. I love that. As far as Jersey, it's right over the border here for me. Is
Yeah,
well, a little bit of a drive, right, for us, but not really terribly long. And you can catch a double-A baseball game, right,
the Trent
in the
Thunder Baseball
meantime.
Stadium. Yep, that's where I do my sports betting.
I love that, man. So this is a really good parlay piece too for people out there, right? Because I cannot believe that we can't legally bet the NFL draft here in Pennsylvania. Like that is a travesty of epic proportions. But all right, here we are. Jaden Daniels, number 2 to the Commanders. Lock that in. You want to lay it solo, great. But I'm also hearing this is pretty good parlay piece from you too.
Oh yeah, yeah. All those orders, 1 through 4, like what's going to happen. Anything that has Jaden Daniels at 2, and obviously K Williams in 1, that's like a good starting point. So if you have a good idea what 3 and 4 are going to be, you can hit something pretty lucrative there.
So where does it get a little crazy here for you? I mean, right away, Drake May, number 3. Where is Charlie and Walt going a little bit off what may be considered the beaten path? By the way, 4 quarterbacks, top 4 plays. So maybe that's a bet in its own right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time that's ever happened, if it does happen. So I think that's definitely positive vig, and I would go that route. Arizona wants to trade down at 4, and there are teams that want to trade up. Like Minnesota acquired Houston's pick, so they want to move up. The Broncos are desperate for a quarterback. Zach Wilson's their starter right now, so I feel like they need a franchise quarterback. The Raiders are talking about possibly trading up, but I feel like less so. And the Giants are definitely in the conversation as well. So there are a number of teams that can move up. And right here, as you can see, I have number 4, Minnesota. I never project trades in my mock draft. And this is it's just because like we're very certain it's going to happen. I'm pretty confident Arizona is going to move out, which is a good betting opportunity because if you look at least all the sports books I've seen, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the favorite to go to Arizona,
Yes.
and that pick's just not going to happen for 2 reasons. One, because Arizona is almost certainly going to trade out. In fact, Charlie reported that he's hearing around the NFL that Arizona and Minnesota have a trade in place already, but Arizona is looking for just a better deal, which I don't think they're going to get because Minnesota is the best, as the most ammo. And the second thing is that I've heard that the Cardinals like Malik Neighbors more than Marvin Harrison Jr. So even if the Cardinals don't trade out, I feel like it's going to be Neighbors. So something I've done already is I bet at number 4, Neighbors to go 4, McCarthy to go 4, and May to go 4. And they're all like plus 375 or better. So you're going to profit no matter what. So that's something I've done on every sportsbook so far.
That's actually a pretty good strategy here. McCarthy, I see at 350. Again, you can go and look at different books depending on where you are, depending on where it's legal too. JJ McCarthy plus 350, Drake May plus 650, Malik Neighbors plus 1500.
Yep. Yeah.
So right now, and again, you put a unit on each one of these, you're guaranteed a half unit win. You're
Yeah.
guaranteed a half unit win, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically it right there.
Exactly, because Harrison's such the big favorite, and I feel like that's based on old information. Like, during the season, the Cardinals are locked into Harrison, but I say his name, Mike Jurecki, who's one of the best
Yep.
team reporters out there. He said on his
Fantastic.
podcast, that the Cardinals prefer Malik Neighbors to Marvin Harrison Jr. So, so even if they stay at 4, like it's not going to be Harrison. So I feel like that's good leverage to have.
All right. So I saw, now Harrison comes in at 5, Neighbors at 6 for the Giants. So we start to get a couple of wide receivers here in that 5-6 range. But based on how we've kind of set up so far, the first 4 picks, it makes sense, right? Like Harrison's not going to fall by any means. And you also have, here's where I think it could get interesting too. You could also do this on a double and play Neighbors at 225, Harrison at 375 for the 5th pick, and probably do the same thing there, right? For pick 6, although you're really losing on Neighbors at plus 160. So probably more so there. If you really wanted to get cute, you could slide in the double on 5 and 6 here. That's all.
So
But
the
this
problem
looks pretty strong as far as your guys here.
So the problem with five is that this is you were asking before, where does it unravel for us? Like number five of the Chargers, like we have no information there at the moment. The Chargers don't let anything leak out. This is a team that's kind of like befuddled us for several years. However, there are reports out there that the Chargers want to go either tackle or they want to trade down, which says to me, given that they don't let information out, that they're probably going to go receiver. It's kind of like, remember last year, everyone was saying, "Oh, Houston's not going to draft CJ Stroud." Like Houston's another team
Right.
that doesn't let information out, and Houston ended up drafting CJ Stroud overall. After all, so I think this is going to be receiver. They have nothing there outside of Joshua Palmer. Is okay, but he's not number one. Now, here's the interesting thing. So we don't know which receiver the Chargers like more. It could be Harrison, could be Neighbors. It's really a coin flip. And as I mentioned before, Arizona has Neighbors over Harrison, and there are several teams that have Neighbors over Harrison. So like Harrison's not locked in here. The only reason I have him going 5 is because Jim Harbaugh coached against him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if I'm Harbaugh, I'm thinking like, man, can you imagine how great our team would have been with Harrison? So I think I would say Harrison is the favorite. That's why I have him in my mock draft. However, it could easily be Neighbors. Like it's a coin flip. And what if I were to say to you, like you can get plus 575 on a coin flip? Like you would take that every single time, right? That's that.
Absolutely.
Those are the odds for Malik Neighbors to be the first wide receiver taken. So if Arizona stays at 4, you're going to win that bet. If the Chargers like him more, you're going to win that bet, but we don't know. So I bet Malik Neighbors to be a first receiver taken. It's plus 575 at Bovada, which like kind of sucks that it's Bovada because they limited me to $17. So hopefully I can get something better when I go to New Jersey. But yeah, so I think that's a good deal. Like anything that's plus 300 or plus 350 or better, I like that.
Yeah, I just tried to put the full unit on Malik Neighbors, the number 4 pick at 15-1, and I got limited down to $20.
Which
So
book was that?
at Bovada,
Oh,
they're not
okay,
they're
yeah,
not interested
yeah.
in respecting money here, our coin, Walt.
Yeah, no, they don't allow anything. I feel like they limited us like a lot this year. Like I had more, I had higher bets last year. I was looking at my wagers of Bovada, but yeah, I couldn't bet anything more than like $20.
Okay, so nothing as far as info coming out with the Chargers here. Now you've got the Giants, the Titans, right? I see you have Joe Alt there. Neighbors we talked about a bunch. A lot to hear for the Falcons. Where is the information past the Chargers? Where is Charlie's information? What you're getting the strongest with the next couple of teams?
Well, something Charlie reported is that Laiatu Latu, you have him on the screen there. So he passed his medical. So there were some concerns about his medical. Some teams flagged him at the combine, and so we had him in the teens or even the 20s of our mock draft. But then Charlie reported on Monday that he passed his medical. Some teams like they passed him with flying colors. Like they have no concerns about Latu right now, and so Latu is he's plus money to be the first defensive player taken. He's also plus money to be in the top 10. I think both are definitely going to hit. I think this is a good bet as well to number 8. Atlanta needs a pass rusher badly. Their offense is set. I feel like the only way this doesn't happen is if they trade out. But it just makes so much sense to Atlanta. So I bet everything with Latu. So I bet him to go top 10. He was plus 280 at BetUS. To be the first defensive player taken, he's plus 250 at Bovada. And to be the number 8 pick, he is plus 250 at BetUS as well. So maybe we'll find something even better with the other sports books. But I'm very interested in betting Latu here. First defensive player for top 10 and even number 8 if you want to get lucky.
Yeah, that's a great bet. Top 10 pick. I see him at plus 175 right now. He's plus 225 to go 8th. And again, I'm looking offshore. So if you're able to legally bet this, congratulations. You don't have to cross borders like the two of us do by any means. That's a sneaky market, right? Like if you and Charlie have identified a strong connection between information coming in and a guy going in the top 10. Yeah, it's great to hit that 225 play for him nailing the 8, but 175 for a top 10, which seems pretty convincing. These are great markets right here. These are pretty sneaky markets. Look, Malik Neighbors is plus 170 to go top 5. Do you have any interest in that? Or do you think the Chargers could price him out because we still just don't know enough? Technically, you did have him going 6th to the Giants?
So I'm pretty confident that the first four picks will be quarterbacks. So um, it depends on like you're getting plus 170 for him to go number 5. So I just think it's just better to bet him to be the first receiver taken. Like I said, it was plus 575 or something on Bovada. It's plus 3. I think it was
Yep.
plus 300 on BetUS. So you're going to see something like that. Like I said, anything that's 3-1 or better, I would definitely do.
All right, so Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. I'm trying to find that as far as, oh, here we go. That's minus 250.
Yeah.
Do you believe that? That's minus 250 as a preset 3-leg parlay of the first 3 draft picks exact.
You might as well just bet the minus 400 on Caleb Williams because
Seriously.
Drake May at 3 is we don't have any info. Well, we have a little info on that. So the Patriots really want Jaden Daniels first of all, but it sounds like they're not going to get him. And there's speculation that there have been reports saying they're listening to trades. Charlie reported that they are listening to trades, but like they're not going to move out unless they get absolutely blown away by a deal. Because like they really need a franchise quarterback. But there is some argument in the front office right now between May and McCarthy. Like I don't even know if they know who they're taking at the moment. So it could be McCarthy, it could be May. Maybe they throw us a curveball and go Penix, but I think it's going to be May. So like I said, I'd rather bet the minus 400 on Daniels 2 rather than the minus 250 on that 3.
I'm looking for the first 4 right here. This is now plus 400. Williams, Daniels, May, McCarthy, exact.
Wow. I like that.
It's not bad. I mean, look, are they fair, true, across the board? This is what you get here with the NFL draft. And the only edge you have is either following somebody you trust, like Charlie here on WalterFootball.com, or you're just, I know, and you're just kind of throwing shit out there without any real base to it. So we've actually created a nice little ticket right here. You've got the 3-way option on the 4th pick so far. McCarthy, May, Neighbors. It's 350, 650, 1500 respectively. Latu going 8th exact is plus 225. And then Latu as a top 10 pick is plus 175. And then this 1 through 4 exact that Walt has is plus 400. So not bad so far in the first couple of minutes here, just opening up our talk of this first round, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that top 4, 4-1. That sounds pretty good to me. Like I said, the Patriots could screw everything up, but I'm pretty confident the top 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks. Like we said, Arizona, Minnesota, they have a trade in place already. Arizona just said they're waiting until they're on the clock, so you're not going to see them trade up before the draft, but they're waiting for better offers. But I don't think they're going to get a better one.
All right, so as mentioned here, WalterFootball.com absolutely want to take advantage of all of this. It's not just for the NFL draft, but especially now for the NFL draft. Nobody on the planet has you covered like Walt, like Charlie, like WalterFootball.com for the NFL draft. Plenty of plays. We'll go through some more bets and what have you across this first round, but want to at least mention this one more time. This is where we are for this entire show, looking at what Walt and Charlie have. You want to jump on Odd Shopper? We'll give you 50% off your first purchase. Use code LIVE. You're watching Walt and I right now. You want to get in, use code LIVE at checkout, and you'll be able to take 50% off your first week, your first month, whatever you choose. Okay, let's keep it moving here, my friend, because we got some more stuff we want to definitely knock off here. And all comments that you have, of course, on Twitter, we'll take. We'll see anything that you're leaning or you want to ask Walt or Charlie through Walt. I'm sure he could channel Charlie's response here. Where anything crazy as we wind down the top 10. Chicago, you have Dallas Turner and Brock Bowers at Georgia. Of course, I've heard the rumors swirling here in Philly, like you have them, where a Georgia player is going to be linked to Philadelphia simply because he went to Georgia. This is not a need. I don't care how good Brock Bowers is coming right out. This is not an immediate need for a team in Philadelphia who would have to make a massive trade up. And on top of that, do it for a tight end / receiver that they don't really necessarily need right now.
Yeah, what the Eagles like to do is draft ahead, though. They drafted Jordan Davis a couple years after Fletcher Cox would leave, and then they drafted a bunch of players like that. They drafted two interior linemen, knowing that Jason Kelsey would retire. So I think the Eagles could draft another Georgia player, maybe not Brock Bowers. I think trading up from they'd have to jump the Jets here to get Brock Bowers. So they'd have to go from 22 to 9 to get a non-quarterback. I don't think that's a smart move. This draft is pretty stacked, so they're going to get a good player at 22, or if they want to move up like
Right.
5 or 6 spots, I think that makes sense. But moving all the way up for Bowers is pretty tough, and I'm pretty confident Brock Bowers is going to go number 10 to the Jets. We Charlie reported that the Jets, because they signed Tyron Smith, they're going to go playmaker here at number 10, either Brock Bowers or Roman Dunze. They're the only two that really make sense. So it's either receiver or tight end. And so Charlie said he's going to try to find some info on which they like more. But I think that there's a much better chance that Brock Bowers is available at 10 rather than a Dunze, because receivers are in such big need here, especially for teams in the top 10. You look at most teams in the top 10, they could use a receiver, including Chicago at number 9. Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams were working out together a lot, but I think that a team could trade up from between 11 and 15 to number 9. And I say that because Chicago only has 4 picks, and that includes number 1. So after they draft Williams, they're only going to have 3 more picks. So I feel like Chicago almost has to trade down. And I could see like Arizona, if they move from 4 to 11, they could move up back to 9 to take a Dunze. The Colts at 15, I think they're definitely live to move up to number 9. So I think you're going to see a Dunze go in the top 10. Just we don't know which team yet. But here, number 10, I bet the Jets draft Brock Bowers and also Roma Dunze. And that's also positive money, kind of like the Arizona bet that we're talking about. Is actually drafting a tight end is plus 150 and drafting a receiver is plus 250. So you're going to make out positive no matter what happens there.
Okay, so let's do this, right? Let's look at, because I know you have this up here as well, right? So we just gave you a great glimpse of Walter Football's top 10, especially with Walt and Charlie breaking everything down from what Charlie's hearing to the best available bets that you see. So we have a lot more on walterfootball.com to go through the rest of the first round, but you also have, as you see here, Keon Coleman in the first round, 5-1. This is an interesting one that kind of caught my eye. You love him at plus 500, where, as you wrote, this seems to be more of a consensus by non-Charlies, mind you, that he would go in the second round. So you must have heard something.
We know a team that likes him at the bottom of the first round. Now they could draft someone else, but they are at least considering him at the end of the first round. So we know that one team likes him enough to take him in the first round. So if there's one team, there might be more. Everyone seem like, if you look at every mock draft, they have him in the second round. Like we have him in the second round as well. But like I said, there is a team that is considering him at the bottom 5 picks. So yeah, Coleman at 5-1. I just think that's a great deal. So what'd you say?
That price is still there. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's more likely than not he goes second round, but like 5-1 seems way too good to pass up. So I think that there's a decent chance it hits.
Did you hear that, by the way?
Yeah. I'm used to it. Yeah, I have 2. I have 2 kids as well, so I have that all the time.
So we've successfully potty trained my son to the point where if he doesn't have a diaper on, he'll rush to the toilet or his baby potty, what have you, pull his pants down and go. But if he doesn't have one on, and I'm sorry for all the non-parents out there, but I just have a puddle of urine to clean up now because of my kid. If he doesn't have anything on his bottom, then he doesn't tell us. He doesn't do it. He just goes. He just goes freely. So my son busted in from outside, locked my wife out of the screen door to get in the back door, and has come now into my basement. And he's terrorizing the entire place here. So I need a winner more than anything, Walt, just to deal with this, just to deal with extra cleaning supplies.
Oh man, I hear that. My son's about half a year younger than yours, so yeah, we're headed down that road too. So yeah, well, after his yeah, after his bath, like, we have him dry off, without anything. He just goes on the ground, and he thinks it's funny. So yeah, we need cleaning supplies too.
It's insane, my friend. Diapers, food, I thought of all that. No, no, no. Cleaning supplies is exactly what I need here.
Yep.
All right, so this is another one here where you start to look at. We talked about Latu top 10 plus 280. Absolutely a play that we like here. JJ McCarthy, May, Neighbors to be the number 4 pick. This is what you laid out. So that's already in our slip, and it should be for you as well if you've been paying attention to the show so far. Now, Kool-Aid under 28 and a half at even money. I am absolutely interested in this, especially that I can get him at even money. Look, I don't know if the Eagles take him or not, but he's going to be out there, right?
Yeah.
As far as mid to low 20s.
Yeah, there are so many teams that could take him. From I would say 17 to 28. Like it feels like almost every team could draft Kool-Aid McKinstry, and teams definitely have him in that range. And I was on the show last night. I was trying to get Charlie to bite on the 55-1 Kool-Aid to be the first cornerback taken, and he was not very bullish on that, unfortunately. I was really hoping for it, but he said Charlie was pretty encouraged that McKinstry would go earlier than 20 and a half. So I think that, like, Kool-Aid to Jacksonville at number 17 is something we're looking at. That's something I have in my mock draft. But like you said, he can go 22 to the Eagles. He can go in a number of places. So yeah, Kool-Aid at under 28 and a half. I think that's definitely going to hit.
Okay, yeah, that's a great one, especially because I think he's minus 250 right now to go in the first round. So the only break you're really going to get is him going under that 28 and a half. He's basically pegged as a back end first rounder right now.
Yeah, that's a weird dichotomy there. You think it'd be closer, so you're only getting like those extra 4 picks. It's a big difference in vig. So sometimes these sports books misprice stuff like this, and it's easy to catch them as well because I don't think they're paying that much attention to it. And so you can really find good deals on these picks. So yeah, getting Kool-Aid at such a great number like that compared to his first round props. I think that's definitely worth taking.
All right, so let's look at a couple more here. And again, we just want to remind you this is the draft primer. This is just getting you ready for the NFL draft and a teaser, if you will. I'm sorry, my son he found a goalie stick that I didn't even play hockey. A friend of mine, Jason Martinez, local here in Philadelphia, he gave me this hockey stick when he came over to do a show with me. And I forgot to put it in the basement. Now my son has this and he's turning off all the lights. So if I go in and out, that I just wanted to let everybody know that this is aggressive, but I think it's a play here. We talked about them individually, and you referenced this a little bit as far as the Chargers and not knowing anything here, but you're getting him at nearly 6-1 odds for Malik Neighbors to be the first wideout selected. You must have a little bit more than just conviction if you're going and laying a bet like this. So maybe there's some tea leaves, or maybe there's just some gut instinct that Charlie has on this one.
Yeah, Charlie spoke to numerous teams that have Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison Jr. So the problem is that we don't know if the Chargers do. That's why this is not a lock or anything like that. But plus 575 is a great number. Like I asked you earlier, like, would you ever take a coin flip at plus 575? Like, you'd be insane not to every single time just because you're getting great odds. Now, you could lose. It's a 50-50 thing, but that I feel like that's what this is because, as I said before, Arizona has Neighbors ahead of Harrison. Not some other teams have, and not even Arizona, some other teams have Neighbors over Harrison as well. But like I said, Chargers, we don't know. So it's really a coin flip for us, plus 575. We're going to take a coin flip every time.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorites so far that we've talked about here. And again, so much of it is just this heavy. Oh, Marvin Harrison. Any misery or dysfunction that you can take advantage of here? Like, you've got tight end wide out for the Jets. They're a team of just absolute misery. You like that one here?
Yeah. Yeah, the Jets are going to take a playmaker because they're not going to go offensive line because they signed Tyron Smith. Now, if like the crazy scenario where Joe Alt falls to them, which I don't see happening because I think he's going to go 5 or 7. they'll go receiver or tight end, and I think it's going to be tight end. Like I said before, I think some team trades up for Odunze at 9, 8, maybe 7, or maybe even 6. So I think that it's pretty likely that the Jets go tight end or receiver, and you're getting plus money on both. So you're going to make out plus money no matter what.
So that's been a strategy here. And look, we did that for our talks on the playoffs, Super Bowl last year with the Chiefs and Eagles. It seems like the NFL draft is one of the easiest places to find value in multiple selections that are returning enough plus money where you can profit, assuming that, a team at number 3 doesn't take Marvin Harrison Jr., which doesn't seem to be the case, especially as you have it mocked.
Yeah, the Patriots are going to go quarterback, and the fact that they're not willing to trade down unless they get blown away by an amazing deal says that they're definitely going to go quarterback. Now we don't know if it's going to be May or McCarthy. Like I said before, the team is still arguing about that, and I don't even know if they're kind of locked into the quarterback, and even like in Washington. So like we're super confident Jaden Daniels is going to go number 2. There are some people within the organization that like the others more. It's just that the people who are making the decisions seem to like Daniels. However, the Patriots I feel like are most likely to go Drake May over JJ McCarthy. And so we have that top 4 that we were talking about before. So yeah, so Harrison, I have a tough time seeing him go in the top 4, given that the top 4 picks are probably going to be quarterbacks. And then Arizona even likes Neighbors over Harrison. So even if they don't move out, it's going to be Neighbors. So Harrison could go 5. He can go 6. I have a tough time seeing him go past 6. Just because he's so talented. But like the fact that he didn't work out ahead of the combine kind of rubbed teams the wrong way. But Neighbors had such a strong season that he just kind of edged them out a little bit, and they're a different type of receivers anyway. Neighbors is more of like a Jamar Chase, whereas Harrison is more of a CD Lamb, and you can't go wrong with either, really. So that's why it's not that difficult to kind of realize that like teams have these guys at 50-50. So yeah, plus 575, like I was saying before, is just a great deal on the coin flip.
All right, my friend, let's look at this here. We've given the people, I don't want to give the people everything because I want them to head to walterfootball.com and I want them to go through what you and Charlie have done. I want them to take a look at the show that you and Charlie Daniels have done so far. So this is where we absolutely have to just leave a little tease, if you will. Is there a bet or play that, by the way, I would put your Charlie Campbell. Did I say Charlie Daniels?
I think you did.
Jane
Daniels. Yeah. Jane Daniels, Charlie Campbell.
Right? Yeah. Daniels. But I think it's also Charlie Daniels. What didn't he play? Wasn't he a country musician or something? I remember seeing him on King of the Hill once.
I don't know, maybe. But when you're cleaning up stuff on the floor, those fumes come in, and then you kind of cross names.
Fair enough. Yeah, man. Look at this dude here. All right. Come on. Hold on a second. I don't know what Charlie Campbell looks like, but I'm assuming he doesn't look like this, right?
No, Charlie looks the opposite of that. He's a younger guy, the long blonde hair, and he's jacked from working out a lot. So
I love it, man. Absolutely love it. All right, let's wind down here, man. WalterFootball.com is the site. We've been showing it to you. We've been highlighting it to you the entire time. Again, let me tell you one more time here about this great deal on OddsShopper. You can only get this on the live shows, mind you. So you click a link, you sign up at checkout, use code LIVE. We'll give you half off your first week or month, whatever you'd like. Walt, let's do this. Give me one play on the way out that we haven't brought up that you absolutely loved. Consider it a bridge from this show to everybody pouring in on the walterfootball.com site. In fact, I saw from Ricky J19 on our Discord, I'm not going to be able to watch until after work tonight. If possible, can you post your guys' plays? I smashed Gibbs last year from your guys' video. Shout out to you and Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie gave us that information. It was a great play. Unfortunately, I was capped in Pennsylvania, so I learned my lesson. I'm going to drive to New Jersey, and like I said, I already do for Rainmakers anyway, so I have to head out there to submit my lineups. So as a play on the way out, Adonai Mitchell is over 27.5. The vig is not great. It's minus 180, so it doesn't look very sexy, but pretty confident this one's going to hit. There are two reasons why Adonai Mitchell's going to fall. And like people remember his combine workout, which is pretty good, but yeah, he's over 27.5 here. One issue is that he has character concerns. A lot of teams have flagged him for that, so he might fall, kind of like George Pickens did last year. He fell because of
Yep.
character concerns. The second thing is that he has type 1 diabetes, and some teams have flagged him for not managing it well. So that's another. So he has not only character concerns, but he has medical issues as well. And so this over 27.5, I feel like is definitely going to hit. So I like that. And some, I'll give you guys another one, but I haven't found this on the offshore books. I'm hoping to find it in other places. Darius Robinson to go, I think was over under. Someone told me it's like 28.5 or 29 or something like that. So you might
Wow.
be able to find that on FanDuel or
Okay.
DraftKings or whatever. Darius Robinson under. We know that a team in the 20s, in the mid 20s, likes Darius Robinson a lot. So that's something I'm going to be looking at as well. I don't know what the vig is yet or anything like that, but that's something I'm going to look for when I cross state lines.
Awesome, brother. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. As always, walterfootball.com. Make sure you're on the site. It's not just your NFL draft Bible, but it is your NFL draft Bible by all means. Anything else you want to get out across the world here for people listening? And, again, you guys, I'll do all the pumping up there. All right. So you don't have to pat yourself on the back. You and Charlie are the only two people I listen to for the NFL draft betting anymore. It's just so much smoke out there. Get anything else you want out for the people, Walt?
Well, we're gonna have more plays on the site. Charlie told me that he's gonna go digging for more information. I'm gonna check in with him multiple times on Wednesday, even Thursday. I don't know if the odds will still be open on Thursday, but yeah, we're gonna try to find more info. We're gonna have more bets, and we might even have something for Friday. Like I texted you on Friday last year that the Lions are going to draft Hendon Hooker, but not with their first picks. You're gonna have to swear it out, but that's another thing we hit. I think it was like 8-1. So yeah, we might have some stuff on Friday, but yeah, we're gonna have live draft grades as throughout the 3 days. So minutes after every single pick, I'm just gonna post grades for every selection, grades for every trade in the draft. We're gonna have updated mock drafts for 2024 and 2025. So yeah, you can check all that out at walterfootball.com. All the content's free too. So yeah, just give us a look.
Absolutely love it. Appreciate everybody hanging with us. We'll be back, talk some more off-season NFL, I'm sure. Thanks again for rolling with us. See ya.